niece, but she not here all the time.
Well, think of you and when you were a kid and the things that you used to do and that you thought you got over on your mom or whatever, but
Hmm.
really to tell you the truth, mama no. You know?
So it's just like I ain't gonna say nothing right now, but know that I know that I
Well,
know.
and I might say something right now.
Period. That's how that go. I gotta say something right now because
Yeah,
I can't be playing with nobody.
yeah.
But so like hey, I want to ask like how are you doing like financially before you started working decided to work for a rise, like were you doing it to help with bills or like what was your motivation financially in regard to getting with this?
Well, I was okay financially, but I did need to make some extra money because I think it was around Christmas time when I
Mhm.
was getting ready to get on, and so I was like, well, I can try out working from home and not have to just really be out there leaving the house. And I mean, my kids still come home and they live at home with me, and they're going to school, so I'm trying to make sure that they doing what they supposed to do. So you
Right.
know, it was
Just
it
so
was
you could be in close proximity
right,
in the
right,
house.
right.
All right. Yeah, that's understandable because, as a parent, you want to get extra money, but you don't want to spend all this time always away from the home. So I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So, could you let me and the audience know, how did you first come to know about Arise?
I had a person someone that she had jumped into the business. She didn't personally like work for a Rise yet. She had worked from home at a different company,
Mm-hmm.
but then she had started working for a Rise, or she signed up as a IBO,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of told me about it.
Okay. And like when you were discussing it with your friend in regard to like when she told you about it, was her telling you about it to tell you about the business opportunity or to try to encourage you to work under her call center?
She just kind of told me to work up under her call center because I didn't know about Arise at first.
Mm-hmm.
She just told me that she had her own business, and if I wanted to sign up to take, and she told me it was things that I could, different companies that I could work for, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. So then, when she sent me the information, is when I really read up on, oh, okay, it's a Rise,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right. So when you went and did your little research, like what did you find? Like what made you go on board? Like what was the information that you were able to gather about the company?
I just kind of honestly, I just looked through the different categories of or the jobs that they had, and
Mhm.
since I've worked in a call center before, I just kind of read up on the description of each area, and then I also looked at the times that they worked because I had another job. So I just kind of really just jumped on something, you know,
Yeah. So
that
the time, the
the
opportunity,
hours that were available to work.
that's what enticed you to, and
Right,
what, all right, that's
right,
me too. Cause like I'm like, what? 24 hours a
right.
day?
And to work
Yeah,
from home, I was like, yeah, I can
exactly.
do that. Yeah.
So it's like you're not tied down in the one specific company. Well, we'll get into that later. Well, in regard to what company allows you to work 24 hours. So, okay, so could you let us know like what the process was like for like the sign up process? Like did your IBO, like how did your IBO assist you with getting signed up and onboarding?
She personally helped me out. Like we
Okay.
kind of one on one went through it because she had went through it before. So
Hmm.
she kind of just walked me through it. So it
Right.
wasn't really hard at all for me to do it.
Okay. Um. All right. And as we already said, I was gonna ask, did you get signed up as a so you signed up as, you didn't get signed up as the independent contractor, which you could. You signed up under your friend's call center, right?
Right.
Okay. And in your mind, like, did it ever cross your mind to work for yourself instead of like going to work for your friend? Or it's just
After a moment, after I had got signed on for a while, and I started just listening to other people say that they were their own IBO, I was kind of like, well, I wonder.
mm-hmm.
But again, I was still just fresh getting out into,
Right.
working at home. So I didn't really just look further into it.
Right. Yeah, I understand that too. All right. Oh, and just like, I know that there's a lot of videos on YouTube related to the IBOs trying to get people to work under their call center, and then there's other videos about how to get signed up as your own IBO. So we just gonna take like a quick 1 minute to describe or let them know what, like, working, so working as an independent contractor, which when you're onboarding for a rise, that just means that you're signing up under your own social security number. There won't be a IBO or independent business owner to assist you with getting onboarded. It will just be yourself. Like, there'll be, like, you'll be paid directly from a rise. There's no
Mhm.
middle person.
Yeah.
Under a IBO, the IBO that's over the call center or the owner of the business, in order to sign up as an IBO, you have to have a LLC corporation. I don't think you could do a sole proprietorship, but you have to have like a business entity, a business name. You also have to have a tax identification number
Mhm. Mhm.
to get signed up as that.
Mhm. Mhm.
um and it's not much of a process. It's just kind of the same as signing up under yourself, or even signing up with the IBO. It's like the same documentation. You just need an EIN number and a business bank account. The bank account has to match, the name of your
Mhm.
business. Yeah. So that's all. Like, it's not a big deal. I know, like, some people think uh opening or forming a business legally with paperwork, it takes 10 minutes max. It's not that. I used to think it was crazy too, but it's not. And if anybody want help, please feel free to email me or whatever, because I love giving out free game. So
There you go.
yeah. All right, so that's the difference between an IBO and an independent contractor. Well, working under an IBO. So um Christy went under her friend's IBO, which means she was working under her friend's call center, which means her friend had a business, and her friend was getting paid by was getting paid for Christy's work through a rise, and then the friend paid Christy,
Right.
right? Okay.
Right.
All
Right.
right. So, all right, so cool. So that sounds like um that. Now it's time. It's time for you to pick an opportunity, and that's when we're gonna go back to what we was discussing earlier. So you get signed up with your friend, as you said, she helped you along the way. Now it's time to pick an opportunity. So you said you picked the roadside assistance company because of the hours, right?
Right.
All right. And how was like training? Like, how did you have to pay for your class? Like, you had to pay, right?
We There was a fee for the class, but my IBO paid for the class for me.
Really? You know what's crazy? All up and through the YouTube streets, right? They say don't pay for your. So that was a kind gesture. That was cool, cause I would, but she probably trusted your work ethic. That's what that was, because nobody. That's like, it's not like you're not supposed to, but nobody does it with fear of the person not finishing it and you lose your investment.
Well,
So she believed in you like a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
because I would never.
And yeah, and need the friend, or
I'm
just
like,
being
no,
honest.
no,
Just being
being
honest.
honest, exactly, because
Being
that's like
honest.
people be lazy. I'm lazy, so I'm like,
Right. Look, I wanted to work from home.
hmm,
And that's not cracked out as cool as you would think it is.
yeah, it's really crazy. We about to get
It's
into it.
I know it, I know it.
We almost there. So all right, so you selected the roadside assistance. So
Right.
how was that like? Tell us like that about that experience, and tell us like how you train, what we trained on and stuff like that.
Training was cool.
Mhm.
I enjoyed training. I
Mhm.
met some cool people in training.
We met in
Um,
training.
right. Hey,
Yeah.
So, hey, Miss, I don't know if I can call their name, but I,
Oh yeah. No, we'll leave them out. The people.
you
Oh,
know,
I love the coaches. Like yo, for real, I love the instructors. That's what I meant.
I loved the instructor.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, not like, I mean, I love the instructor. He was cool. He
Mhm.
was
Yeah,
really
me too.
cool. He was kind of laid back and chilled. And he was thorough if you would ask him. You just got to speak up and can't be shy because you are actually going to have to do the work. So you have to learn it.
Right.
So ask the questions that you need to ask.
And
And
get what you need to get.
right. So I enjoyed it. And we had plenty of time to role play and things like that. So I enjoyed it. Now, um, some people were harsh instructors that
Mhm.
made you feel like trash
Mhm.
sometimes. Being honest, if
Right.
I can.
Mhm.
So might think some people, and I'm not saying for them to be lenient, but again, you don't, and I guess that is testing everything because you don't know how someone is, how they are in their headspace.
Right.
And
Yes.
so you have to be mindful of your words and your actions on how you reprimand or you teach someone, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I know
But
exactly what
I
you mean.
just feel like that could have been a little bit more considerate in areas. But hey.
And I know exactly what you mean. And we are omitting the names of instructors as well as like the IBO or our classmates. We're not saying anybody's names, but in regards to that, like I understand exactly what you're talking about. It was like a female instructor. I liked her because I like tough love. I don't know why, but that's how I am. Like in general, like but not in a way of teaching somebody because I know how
Right,
delicate I am, like with my feelings.
right.
So
And then
I
also
can't.
with being shy,
Yes. Yeah.
as you have mentioned.
Yeah.
But I guess you kind of got you have to get people out of their comfort zone, or you have to give them that shock that hey, when you're in a live call, you may get this situation. But I
Right.
just don't feel like every time you should have been that way,
Right.
or maybe the first time.
Right.
Because from like jump when she first came in there with us, it was like harsh, and so we had our
Guards up.
yeah,
Like yeah.
and so I just feel like maybe the first time you shouldn't have been, so tough. Then
Right.
maybe we could have eased into that, you know.
Like it would have been less intimidation when this
Right,
person was in the classroom, basically.
right. Because no
Yes.
one ever wanted to go, really,
Yeah.
except for the few people of us that wasn't scared to go,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I understand that.
that's how I feel like more people would be apt to, okay, hey, I want to volunteer because I want to learn. But if you have that, oh, she's gonna just make it
Scream
hard for
on
me,
me.
and
Yeah.
yeah, then make me feel like I'm less than or I'm not capable of
Right.
learning this, then I don't want to go. It's
Right.
like you said, intimidation, that fear
Right.
factor.
Yeah, and nobody likes that. Give me one second.
Okay.
That's Tori on that Fortnite. Sorry. But nah, I definitely understand. And um like we had a discussion about this once because we both said like nobody can learn in that type of environment where you
Right.
feel that way. So that could have stunted a lot of people.
Right.
And we had the classroom setting, which was like a Zoom meeting. It wasn't any cameras. And they had like what was it, like screen shares they'll put up, and we'll discuss
Right.
our reading from the online module. We had like an online module, and the online module had like the questions, like what was it like? Go,
Like it was kind of
like
as like a,
online school.
yeah.
Yeah,
You'll read up on it, and then they'll quiz you about what you read. At the end, you'll take a test over it.
yes, basically videos, reading, and like, you know,
Yeah, practice.
yeah,
You practice. The little whatever they taught you out. And then
on
you
how
would
to
take a
handle the
test.
calls.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and you was so much better than me in that aspect, because I kept not doing my work. I'm like, I don't want to read all this stuff and listen to
Man, when I
videos.
tell you, I was just like, oh my God,
But yours was always done, though. Always.
because I would try to, because I actually wanted to learn it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like I said, I do feel like I had that fear factor. And so I just really got out of it. It scared me, shocked me
Right,
to take the calls. And then it was different, I believe.
right.
When you actually got on the call, it was different.
Oh, God, we're going to get into that.
Yes.
So, we were in the class for what, like a month, right?
Yeah,
It
about
seemed like freaking we was getting a
forever.
bachelor's degree in that class.
Right.
Because we had to go to class every day at 6 to 10,
Yeah, except for
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
And some holiday we missed.
Yeah, we happened to fall in a holiday somewhere.
Yeah, because I think we was
I
at the
think it was
end of.
like Thanksgiving.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Thanksgiving. We fought when we had all. Well, it's Monday through Friday. You train every day, and I mean, I don't know if you supposed to. They said you're not supposed to miss class, but I don't know. I think you could miss like two classes or something. I missed one. I think maybe two. I remember missing. Nothing happened, but like we said, the instructors are good with you.
I think it just depends on your instructor, probably.
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine having another instructor, honestly, because I would have been, I would have been out. Like,
I appreciated our instructor,
yeah, we
honestly.
had a good instructor.
Yeah.
All right, so we spent the month. We spent the month getting acquainted with the many systems that they had in order for us to answer these roadside assistance calls, right?
Hmm.
And we had the trial days when we had to answer the phone for these crazy people. How did you was did the training properly prepare you for these calls? Like, did you feel prepared when you?
I think, honestly, to a certain extent,
Mhm.
I felt, but I also feel like it was so much that we learned that you had to put in on that call. But I mean, I don't know. I think it was okay. I still think it was just more nerves,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was okay. I think the class pretty much, if you took it in, if you could take it all in, because that was
Yeah.
a lot to take in.
Yeah, I think, and that's where we differed, because you see how you felt prepared and you was doing your work. I wasn't doing my work. So I was only getting information from the class, and I'm like, "Oh, let me rush to do this," and rushing, not doing it the proper way. When
No.
I was like, "What's this button?" Like, what they like, I didn't know. Like, I just felt so bombarded with like things. I didn't really get the hang of it until I kept servicing. I was
Right.
like, oh, all right. Because I learned by doing, really. That's how I be learning.
Right.
Yeah, but you were more prepared because you adequately did your work and did what you needed to do.
But there were some things that I didn't. That's why I said it was some things that I didn't.
Yeah, because it would seem like it was some things that they did not discuss with us. They
Right,
didn't discuss with us the help chat in class,
right. And that
which
help
that
chat
was
was,
horrible.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. Let me tell you, that help chat, they were horrible. They were horrible.
Right, I agree. And it was like rude, skipping over you, and I get very irate when I am being polite, and then the politeness is being taken for granted.
And
And
I
so,
get it though, but I
yeah,
get it for them because there's so many
it
people
is.
asking questions. So I feel like they need to have more. I don't know. Maybe you should have more practice time where
Right.
you're in a like I think when Z was supposed to take over, like I stopped servicing like not long after.
Right. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
remember calling you. But I want to say, from training to when you were just about to start making your money. Now you, and mind you, we're not paid for taking the class. We got to pay for the class, but we're not paid during that time in which we are taking the class, just so
right,
everybody know. So this
right.
is a freaking commitment to know
For
that.
6 weeks, I think.
Yo, yes,
Well,
that's
that's a
what it
month and
was.
a half.
It's a
So
lot.
for
It's
like
a lot.
6 weeks, you're not getting paid and you're committed for 4 hours at the end of your day. And especially if you have another job.
Hmm.
So
Which
you
both of us
start,
do.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
start out from morning. And then on top of that, you have all these, like you said, modules, these
Hmm.
tests that, and it's so many of those.
It's so many. It had to
Some
be
of them
like,
are so long.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
it's like,
when do you have time to do them? You
right.
know?
Or really retain the information.
Right.
Like you're just rushing through because you got to discuss, be able to talk about this in class with the peers and the instructor.
But I really feel like maybe that particular um, client is for someone who is only going to work from home. Maybe.
Possibly. But then I guess that would put restriction because they were not you see how you fell off. I fell off shortly after you, and it was not because of the pressure, because I had got a little bit used to that. It
Right.
was because they were freaking annoying. They kept calling me like, oh, can you work, can you work, can you work, can
Right.
you work?
Right.
I'm like, I work
I'm at
somewhere.
another job. Right.
Yeah.
You
What is
know?
wrong with you? And then they
Yeah.
had, when you left, they had some lady, like a follow-up lady that would call you. The lady was very nice, but I don't like to be micromanaged. Like this is why I decided to work as an independent contractor from home. And
We have a team meeting and
yeah,
I'm like,
I
dude,
don't got time for that.
and then they come through with different trainings that you had to take and
Oh
I'm like,
yeah, that's when I
oh
quit
my God.
quick, because I'm not doing no. I'm not doing that. But I think they paid you too. But I just was through with them. Oh,
Yeah, at that point I was over it.
yeah, like I already did my class. Like I'm not going to keep doing. And then they started doing mad new stuff, and I'm like, look, come on, man. I
Like
just
I
learned
didn't
this.
learn this. Right.
Yeah.
So I get
So
it.
from when you finish your class, then it's time to start servicing. Where was your IBO on? Was she there for you to speak to and ask questions related to class and stuff like that? Because she had taken this course before, right?
No, she hadn't taken the course before. Not with that particular client.
Mm-hmm.
I think she done like Suddenlink or it was some other
No, is it like a telephone company or something?
cable company, telephone,
Okay,
something.
okay. Dog, all right. So now it's cool. I don't even think that company is up there no more. But so she couldn't offer you any additional information related to your server, well, your contract, or your with the roadside assistance company, because she hadn't did that before.
No.
Okay. See, that was something that I didn't quite understand because I plan to, well, under the IBO company that, well, under my company, I plan to, get people to do what I was doing, but I felt like I had to go in and learn first and then get my people. Cause
Yeah,
I'm like, how could I tell you something about something that I do not even really know? Like I don't know.
yeah.
So I find
Well,
that.
well,
Mhm,
I think she was kind of, like I said, she was up and coming as well,
mhm,
so
yeah,
I was just kind of like, one of her guinea pigs, and she was starting to get into some of the class. I think she had worked for a company. That just particular one she hadn't done, you know.
right,
That was something I jumped out there, like I said, and chose.
right.
I mean,
So
when she suggested the ones that she would, but like I said, for my hours and what was
that
suitable
worked for
for
you
me,
best. Yeah.
right,
Yeah, because I remember I used to be getting up at like 5 in the morning doing some and then going to work or like after work. Like
right,
that was the best thing ever.
or weekends for me was
Oh
like
yeah,
better,
me too a little bit. Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
But so me and you both agree that we basically went in for the same reasons. And like what was, I know we said it a little bit. So what was the reason why you quit working for the roadside assistance company?
Um, I think I was annoyed mostly because some of the calls were consistent. First
Mm,
of all,
hmm.
some days the calls were consistent, which I get that you're in a call center, you
Right,
know, but I do know that you do have the ability, you know,
right.
also of the volume of calls you take in at a time. But I don't know. I don't want to get into the logistics of it, but um yeah, that was one reason. It was just like, you have those days where you're just really not. I mean, I work a full time job, so today it's just not my day. I don't feel like doing it. And I've made this commitment already,
Yes.
you know. So I'm like, you know, I
Right.
didn't
That's
make
how
the
I felt some
commitment,
days too.
and so I never really committed many. I started to where I didn't commit many hours because I just thought it was gonna be like, hey, I'll do like 4 hours on the weekend, you
Hmm.
know, when I didn't know I could space it out during the week, or I
Right,
should have done like maybe an hour one day, 2 hours the next day. You know what I mean? I
right.
don't want to knock them like 4 hours, and here it is. I make this grand commitment, and I don't feel like taking these calls because I'm annoyed. I'm tired of whatever work week I've had in my other job. So it was just kind of, it became a nuisance.
Right. Because it was like something on your back
Right,
after work. You gotta,
right, right.
yo, I understand.
So
Yo,
that was kind of my reason for doing it.
hmm.
I was like, I I don't need this. I don't need this
Right.
pressure. I don't need this pressure.
Yeah, because it's like some, then you ain't even say nothing about the calls, the text messages, and all that when they want you to.
Oh well, yeah, of course. We kind, like you said, we kind of mentioned that before.
Yeah.
The calls that they call throughout the day, the text message that they send that, hey, we have intervals available. We need you to sign up. Yeah, sometimes they had some incentives. You're
Yes.
right, but at the same time, hey, I'm at work and you done called me
Four
50
times.
times.
Exactly.
And I have meetings at my other job that I was working at, and I'm like, here you go,
It's
in
just
another
them.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. You
That was
ignoring
kind of
the
like
number calling.
inconsiderate to me when I've given you the schedule that I want to work.
And you trying to
Yeah.
entice me for something else.
Right. It's okay one time or something, but it was like a consistent call throughout the day.
Right. And you
And
said something. The incentives, right? So, oh, we didn't. All right. In regard to Arise, when you under IBO and then the IBO basically you discuss your pay rate with the IBO, right?
mhm,
And our IBO, our IBO is pay. Say we're gonna use. numbers for example. So say the roadside assistance company was paying $17 an hour, and the IBO was paying you $14 an hour. When it was incentives, did they make you guys, like, did your IBO make you aware of incentives was at certain days, at certain hours, but maybe between 6 to 10, the company, the roadside assistance company, or a company that's working under a rise, the call center company, they would pay more. So did your IBO make you aware of these incentives, that sometime it would be a substantial, I'm talking like $2, like $3 or something like that? Were you made aware of these incentives for working within these time frames?
Honestly, I don't think I was on the days that they had incentives. I really took into it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Because I was mostly at my other job or I was busy doing something else. I wanted to jump on it, but and then sometimes I probably just really didn't give to,
Either
oh, well,
way.
okay,
Yeah.
what kind of incentive you get? I'm not jumping on because I know the call volume is high
Yes. That's why.
and I don't want to go.
Right.
So
But
yeah,
do
it
you
was.
think if your IBO told you like, oh, today, girl, they paying $3 extra or $2 extra, and told you, would you have went?
Um, Probably, maybe, probably not.
Yeah.
Just because of who my IBO was. I mean, it could be different for other people. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying? Being
Yeah.
honest, it was my home girl. You know what I'm saying? So I really, like I said, I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet into working from home. So it never really crossed my mind, or if I wanted to do it, I'd do it if I did. But she would tell me about it.
Right. Okay.
She would
Yeah.
tell me about it sometime, and I'll be like, and then of course I seen it myself because
Right.
they sent it out in a text or whatever. So it wasn't like I wouldn't know,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what but they just wouldn't tell you a dollar amount, right?
Right.
Okay. Because I was
But
wondering,
no,
because
I think they did tell a dollar amount sometimes, didn't they?
well, they would tell me only if I went on there and looked. Like I would look at the time. I forgot. No, in the emails, I think they used to tell the dollar amount.
I don't even know. I thought they even sent it in a text or something. Or I want to say, and I wasn't my own IBO, but I do know, or was she sending it? I want to say it was them. And you don't remember that
I
text?
think it was them. I think it was them sending it, because ain't nobody sending that. Like, I don't, unless you copied it and sent it to you.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Honestly, on that
And then,
part, I don't remember.
yeah, I don't remember how it used to come either. But I was thinking that because I was wondering, like, what if like a IBO didn't make you aware of um and what if they didn't make you aware of the incentive, that they just like took all the bread, like, basically, like, that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, like, I always think of stuff from two sides, because I wanted to do the
Right.
call center, and I just felt like I didn't like the setup. Like, if you're gonna pay me for finding people to join, pay me. Like, I don't want to have to take money from these people and then have to figure it out. And did you ever see, like, the way they count the hours up? I still couldn't really figure out the way that they, like, it was just like, it just looked so foreign, like the way they calculated the amount of intervals.
Hey, I don't know how. Well, I seen how they did that kind of. It's sort of the way they done it, but
It's a whole calculation they got
but
going on.
but my IBO, she honestly paid me what she told me. She said she'd go pay me an hour.
Hmm.
Hey, I got
Right.
and then because I started working less, I was committing to less hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. The people talking to you. We, mind you, we talking to people that's in duress. They all mad. Some people is okay, but
Yeah,
yeah, some people not built to be. I'm not built to be getting screamed at, because I can't handle that. Like, I be
yeah.
mad.
I'm mad too some days.
Hmm.
So you can hear it in my voice, and I'm really a chipper person. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just like the life of the party on the cool.
Yeah,
But
that's how I am. But
hey,
when you keep on,
say,
yeah.
I'm you not gonna keep hollering at me because you stuck on the side of the road. I feel your pain. And then I think they
And I
kind
know
of
you're very nice on the phone too. I know that was bugging.
I
Yeah.
think sometimes they are, it was just crazy.
It's
it was
like
just real
sometimes
crazy.
it's like they know you at work. So now let's talk crazy and cause you can't say nothing. That's how I be feeling. I
Yeah.
yeah. But you gotta be mindful, like our instructors, they're in a bad situation. We're at home, blah blah blah. I understand that. But I got human decency. Sometimes I could black out, but
And then I think also they just kind of, they the roadside assistants,
mhm.
they were kind of pushing to be empathetic a lot. You know?
Oh yeah, that's I'm sorry and everything.
Yeah, you know. When you got graded, when you get graded,
Mhm. Yeah,
and they, oh, well, you didn't show any empathy and you didn't show, like, sometimes that didn't cause for it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
They
I'm
don't
not
want to do
pushing.
that. They trying to
Right.
hurry up. So I understand. And that irritated them sometime. I'm so sorry. Yo, hurry up and get my thing here, miss.
Right.
Yeah. So now I
You're
get
telling
that.
them you're sorry. What do you mean you're sorry? You know,
Right.
I'm
What's that
like,
doing? Yeah, because that would make me mad. If I was stuck on the side of the road,
and then they didn't kind of really, they felt like you couldn't just sit and hold a conversation. They was like, no, don't come. Like, I want to make somebody feel comfortable. You stuck on the side of the road.
right.
I
And
really
some,
kind of felt like I wanted to be me on the call, but it was kind of like a flow they wanted you to have to the call. You know what I
yeah, they
mean?
wanted you to get people out the way. And that was another thing that call average AHT, the call handle time, average.
Yes.
That was like the clock, the clock, the clock. I gotta look at the clock, and you gotta find these people too. So,
Right. From anywhere, including Canada,
yo,
places you've never
exactly.
heard of, and it was just like it was too much.
It was intimidating. It
Yeah,
started to get a little bit better, but when it started to get better, they changed stuff, and I don't like
yeah,
change.
yeah.
I, and then I started to get more into the concept of I'm working. How many hours did you originally want to commit to per week when you say, okay, class almost over, how much work I'm about to get this money, I'm about to get
I was finna go in on them on some hours. I was gonna do like maybe 30 hours. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's doable.
You know?
That's how much I planned on doing, maybe 20 to
Yeah, I
yeah,
was like 25 to 30 hours a week is what I
right,
said. I said, Helen, on a good week, I give them 40. You know what I mean?
right.
Because I was like, the weekends, I mean, shit, I can get up early in the morning, take some calls, I could commit because here at home. But I didn't know that when you are on the call, you're on those calls.
You're on those calls, and then also we were new, so we also had to, as we were stating before, we didn't really clarify with the group chat of the other representatives that were to help you should you not know how to do something. That was clogged up and flooded, so that ran up your AHT, your average call handle time. So if you didn't know something, you have to type these questions. Oh, where is this, and like that was
And
horrible.
yes, and then you have to wait for someone to ask you. Then you have someone chiming in telling you, "Hey, can you go get your customer off hold?" And you're having to flip through screens, which I do advise the dual screens probably does help better.
You have to have that. That is
Yeah,
like you can't you can't do it without it.
right. That
Yeah.
helps. I mean, you can. It's doable,
Yeah.
but also it takes up your time as well, and they want you to have your time down. I mean, they want you to have like a 60-second ass call damn near. Oh, excuse
Right. Right. No, you good. No, that I understand, yo, and you and mind you, with the nerves, you're nervous, like
Right.
yeah. So, um, wow, we ran through that. Let me see. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we discussed the rough days with the customers and stuff yelling. I'm looking over it, I'm like, oh, we ran through everything. So, and yeah, you didn't. You said your IBO always paid you the amount that you were supposed. So that's good business practices, and we'll have no problems on that end. So that's
Nah,
good. I
it was
respect
good.
that.
I,
Yeah.
I'll have to say, as far as, and it could be because she was new and she just had a few people that she had up under her, so it was easier for her to communicate with her
Yes.
people. So as far as anyone else that may have a lot of people, that's something you have to also look into as signing up under an IBO.
Right.
If they
And
would actually commit to you.
exactly. And that's a select group of people that's willing.
Right.
That's why I couldn't. I don't like. I it was. I had a screen share with a girl that I was going to get signed up, right? And like it's in bold letters. Like, do you want to work from home? Or I mean, do you want to work for yourself or do you want to work for our IBL for our IBL? I'm like, what the heck? Like, why are they having this while we're on our screen share? Like, what if the person wanted to opt out and work for themselves as opposed to because that's what I would pick. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's that?
Right.
And it just was a lot of like tips and tricks and turns. I just can't really be dishonest in a way like it would be one thing if you have to be a solidified like staffing company or something like that in order to get into this profession, but it's not. So I just couldn't deal with being conflicted and telling people like, oh yeah, you could work under my company, but you could work under you and make more money. Like you don't really need me. Like that's why I didn't go forward with it
Right.
to me. Cause I just like I can't be
I mean,
lying.
and I don't see it as a bad thing,
Yeah.
honestly.
Hmm.
If people are legit, because you have some people who work or are in a situation or in a community or however you want to call it, where the minimum wage is X amount of dollars and their cost of living is this much, and they're making like what they consider,
Oh, way more.
yeah, what
Yeah,
they consider, hey, I'm making $9 an hour, $10 an hour, I'm making way more than minimum wage, so I'm doing okay, is what they're thinking here.
right.
So you got someone who's working, they're an IBO and she's making, what do you say, 17, $18 an hour for someone, and I pay you, say, $12 an
Hmm.
hour.
Right.
Then hey, this person actually jumped up from 9.50 to $12 an hour. You know what I'm
So
saying?
that is helping. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it in essence, and I'm helping you, you helping me.
When
Hey,
you put it into that perspective, that makes it better. Like I understand. That I
right.
understand. And
So
I
I don't see it as a bad thing if I've taken the necessary precautions to get my LLC and my tax ID and all this here. Hey, why not? If I'm gonna
right,
help you make money, we helping each other. Say let's eat. But
right.
if some people may come out of it and be like, hey, I'll pay you $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You making $18, you gonna give me 10?
right.
I'm like, wow. And I'm doing the work, and you just got a little LLC when I could take this extra money that I would be making to just, I mean, what is it to get an LLC? And I mean, it can't be no
It's like
more than,
$100, a
right.
hundred
That's
and
what I was
twenty
going to say. No,
dollars.
no more than $200, $300. Let's just say
Yeah,
the whole process,
yeah,
you know, and be making the money myself. But I get it.
yeah. They put their leg out first, so
Right,
yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
And then
And
I'm
then
also trusting you to do what you do because you're a representation of me. So
right,
what I'm putting out, you can't go out there and just be lollygagging for, I'm giving you $12 an hour. You can't just go out there and just take shit calls.
right. You got to do your job.
Right, right.
Right. So
So
that
I
makes
get
sense.
it. Right. I
Yeah.
get it. I
Yeah,
have to
that does.
I have to vouch for you, so why not make something off of you? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because you coming underneath me. When you
Right.
put it in that perspective, that makes it it's like one hand washes the other. So I get it.
Exactly. So I
Yeah,
get it. I get it. So I don't see it as a bad thing. Hey, jump out there and let's go together.
right. And then if you feel as though like, all right, you done learned enough, you could always release yourself from a
Right.
person's call center as
Right.
well. So, and
Right.
then, you
Right.
know,
And I guess it depends between you guys. Hey, especially like I said, she paid for my class, so maybe I need you to at least stay 6 months, a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you contracted under her. I don't know. Me and
right.
my IBO, we actually didn't have that conversation. But if you decide to do that, I would actually say, hey, you have to at least commit to me.
For a couple months.
Yeah, if I'm
Right.
sticking my neck out for you.
Right. Especially, and then in that situation, that's like rare too, because like especially if somebody's paying for if they're paying for the class, and that would make sense. Like, all right, I'll pay for your thing. Just make sure you do 4 hours a week for maybe
Right.
6. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that is like that concludes it. And then I love, Christy, how you put in perspective of like I liked how you just put that into perspective for me, because that's mainly the reason why after I started learning like the logistics of the situation, and then I'm like, oh, so you're not paying me like just to recruit, you also like I'm taking it from somebody. That's how I felt. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. You
I
may
get
be
that.
actually helping someone out, honestly.
Right. Yeah, because I like to get free information, but sometimes I'm like, come on, I need to I need to be paid for my services.
Right. Exactly. See, why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes so would you ever like think about becoming like a IBO? Because a lot of the
Possibly.
things that you said, that's like the way that you teach people or the way that you would want to be taught. Those is all like good qualities of a leader, thinking of people how you or how you would like to be treated.
Right.
That's yeah.
I mean, honestly, Tiff, anywhere, any job or anything that I've worked, I have risen to the occasion and became, like a
I can
leader
see
of it.
that.
But this roadside assistance, I guess maybe I didn't give it enough time,
Mhm.
or like I said, I think I was intimidated from the jump, and then when I just didn't, it wasn't my fit at the time
Right.
with things I had going on in my life. This COVID we were facing, maybe
Right.
having it and different things. It just wasn't the time for me. But I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind being an IBO.
Right. No, I was just asking because
And
I
then I
think
also wouldn't even mind just actually sitting up under somebody and working, if I felt someone was fair, you
right.
know. Because hey, you doing the footwork, just just do me right and I'm cool
Right.
with it, you know.
That's true. Yeah, that's me too. Sometimes either way. Like I could be a leader, but then I could be a subordinate too when the
Yeah,
time is like
because I'm
that
gonna
time.
I'm gonna make you look good if you make me
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
my
really
back,
the
I
essence.
still yours.
Yeah. You already.
You
But
know.
thank you so much. Like we've been
Yes,
trying to put this
ma'am.
together for the longest, and I
I
wanted to
know.
just have the conversation because I had people that were asking me. I'm like, let me just make this little. I want to interview my girl so she could tell
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
internet.
Hey, and it's so crazy because this we've talked and had many conversations, but this is the first time we actually even saw each other face to
Yes,
face.
this is
You
too.
know,
I
that's
got that.
crazy.
I got that on the thing. I'm a probably like, cause you saw we was screaming, what's good? Like,
Yeah.
nah. But thank you so much, Kay. And I'm a you don't want to put no contact information in regard to yourself or nothing like that, right? Like your full name or like your profession. Do you have any like businesses or anything you want to shout out or anything like that?
Hey, honestly, K Hunt Enterprises. She's really cool girl.
Mhm.
If you wanna shout out to him, uh,
Yeah.
she's pretty cool. If you want to look for a pretty good IBO, that will, I honestly can't I
Right.
can knock her. So I'm gonna give it up to K Hunt Enterprises,
All
and
right.
I don't know if you do your thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna come back to Rise. So that's why I'm not even. I just wanted to put the proper information out because I don't think that I'm
And
like
because
that's
without you, Tiffany, no lie, when we were doing our thing and working
mhm,
with each other, it made me so much more comfortable
right.
with
When
a
we had
couple
the
of our
outside
classmates.
meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they advised that, but we never. It was like everybody in our class was just like shell shocked. Like, I don't want to meet you. I don't want, I don't know.
yeah.
But
Or
we
they
had a
were
few of
probably too
us.
busy too. Like who?
Right, it could
Yeah,
be. But it was
yeah.
a few of us that still made time to,
Yes.
actually do it. And I think that's what really helped.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And like it's different when one of your peers is teaching you something sometime than the instructor because it's like I don't have to feel ashamed because we trying to get it together.
Right,
So that
right.
made me feel comfortable too. And I was on your ass anyway because you was reading. I was yeah, you used to be nervous, but you used to be knowing what was going on. So I knew I
Yeah,
was like, she reading her stuff anyway.
yeah, but hey, still, it was
Yeah.
crazy. But
Well, it was fun, and I'm so like we got our relationship out of it, so it is what it
yeah,
is.
that's what I said. You meet some cool people in there, so it is what it is.
Right.
It works for me. I mean, I wouldn't mind shooting out there again, but hey, right now, I am, I went on to a different job adventure, so I'm now like doing dispatch
Mhm.
for the oil
That's like the
field.
same. Oh no,
For
that
the
ain't the
oil
same.
field, and so
Right.
it is so crazy, but I'm cool with it. I love my money.
Right. You content that, and I'm
Yeah,
happy to hear. Look, I like that smile
yeah,
that you just did. Yeah, because that
yeah.
means like you have.
Say
That's
I'm
all that
eating
matters.
till,
Right.
like I'm eating till.
Are you eating
Man,
with the steak and the potato?
man,
Oh, I gotta come down there. For real, my friend been trying to get me to come down there. I don't even
yeah.
know what she be doing down there. I'm like,
I
what you?
need to come. I need to come up that way too as
Tuh.
well.
It's a couple things to do. Jersey, we
But
be
it's
having
just a
some
lot
stuff to do.
this damn COVID. But hopefully it's going away. You
Yeah,
know,
I got
it has me.
vaccinated.
No, I
Yeah,
will not.
I
I
know
will not.
everybody.
I will not because I told you we had my best friend's
Hold
mother
on, I'm gonna
passed
cut.
away.
I'm gonna cut the recording. All right,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Got
Thanks.
it.